Hi everybody, Jason Smith here. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Truth About Social Ads. I'm an agency owner specializing in Facebook and Instagram ads, and I have dedicated my professional life to helping you learn what others won't tell you about Facebook ads. You know, I believe there's so much information that no one is sharing about Facebook ads and how you can fail and win running ads for your business and when it's time to hire an agency. That's why I'm here bringing ideas and information that can help you run successful Facebook and Instagram ads. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Jason Smith and Eric Bork coming at you with another episode. Eric, why don't you tell everybody what we got going on today?
We're going to talk about landing pages that convert.
Oh man, this is this is one of the most important things about driving traffic to people's offer, right?
And we have a really direct point today. And so I think this is an insightful episode.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. So we're going to be talking, like Eric said, about landing pages, not just landing pages, but landing pages that convert. So yeah, this should be a pretty short episode. I mean, we're not going to cover a ton of different things, but some stuff that you can think about. Make sure that these critical things are in your landing pages. And I would say if you want help with your landing page, reach out to us. But we know it converts because we run enough traffic, but we don't build a landing page. Well, we kind of do, but go to somebody else for your damn landing page, right? Don't come to us. So, but we know what converts and we know what works from Facebook. Makes a good offer and a good funnel. So Eric, go for it.
Well, that's a good point. And it is different on different platforms. Like Google, Sometimes you have to build like mini sites. And so, we actually didn't go over that in our pre-notes is that, this is specific to, it does apply other places. Yeah. One of our clients just asked us if they liked our landing page they want to use on Google too. So let's start off. I just got to plug our iOS update download. If you're prepping for the Apple update, even if it's already rolled out and you need to know what to do, we have a free download for you. Go to our website. It's spotlightsocialadvertising.com/iOS. Download it. It's totally free. It'll tell you how to handle what the next steps are to handle the iOS update so you can still effectively run traffic. Again, spotlightsocialadvertising.com/iOS. Now let's jump into landing pages. So this one is, I really just want to make kind of one key point here. And that point is that there is no magic bullet. We're going to tell you 7 things that will help increase your conversion. Yeah. But there is no magic bullet. And that is the main point that I want to make in this episode. It's not going to be a long episode, but we're first going to run through the 7 things that we've gone over and identified that help and the key factors, but then we'll talk about why there is no magic bullet. So let me start off with a story. I had a designer friend and, I do a little bit of design. I do websites and landing pages. I'm not the best graphic designer, but my friend is. And I asked him, this was years ago. I said, hey, how do I get really good at fonts and knowing what fonts to use? And his response was kind of funny. He was like, it's a lifetime pursuit. And I use that example a lot because you can get early success with things. You can build things that function and work, but it's really having the experience and experience in many different regards. So I preface it with that because the first thing we're going to tell you is this is what to do on your landing pages. The second part of this episode is going to be about critical thinking through the process. And I'm going to state it in the beginning. The 7 things aren't going to work without the critical thinking part. Experience is also important with that. So before I jump in there, anything to add to that before I jump into the 7 things we went over?
No, I guess the only thing I want to add there is landing pages takes a lot of testing and it takes testing, but you also don't want to be in there like a client we had changing your landing page like daily.
Yeah.
Like, man, that just drives us crazy. So, but we can get into that a little bit later.
Well, let's talk about that for 1 sec, because what we prefer is someone, and some clients are really good at this. They send us over like every 2 weeks, some new creative that relates to a specific product or, offer or something. And then we can run with those for at least, when we don't get a full 7 days to run with something, it's tough for us, because that's what we need to really see kind of how it performs. We have to test before we turn on and off. We have to give them time to test, the creatives, and then we can't have them all on at the same time. So it is really important not to mess with things too much. That's actually a good point that we also didn't cover. Okay, so number one, the biggest thing we want is, in general, one singular call to action above the fold is my preference. My preference is that call to action, that form, and for anybody that doesn't know, when we say above the fold is the bottom of your page when you log on to the landing page or website. So we're going to talk a little bit about e-commerce, but this is mainly for leads tonight, is that we want the top CTA to end before the bottom of the page. Psychologically, that causes people to scroll down and review the information.
Yeah.
But I personally, and it's funny, we did this last week. I don't think you even know about this one, because it was on an account where we got it handled and didn't need to come to you, but their landing page was not converting. Their CTA was below the fold. There was a lot of reasons. We moved it above the fold. Right when you land, you see the page. We made the colors contrast a little more, so it's like boom, and all of a sudden it starts converting. It was simply moving the form and changing how the colors popped. All of a sudden they're getting, great CPAs for leads.
Awesome.
So one singular CTA. Anything to add there, Jason?
Nope, that's a good one. Okay. Just you don't want to confuse people. You want to make it easy.
Very easy. And then, I'll add something else to that. It's also and it's actually number 2, which is you want to have at least 3 benefits as to why should someone do this? Why should someone give you their phone number so you can send them text messages? You have to give them 3 compelling reasons why they should do that.
Yeah.
With products, it's different because people want a physical product. With leads, you need to give them a reason. So I like to have that reason also above the fold. One of those that I recently saw make a big difference was surprisingly affordable, because it was a service that's expensive, right? And we added the 2 things. One was below to the side, and then above, just surprisingly affordable. Helped a ton. So 3 benefits people can see. Yeah, I feel like you were going to say something, Jason.
Nope, I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the third would be social proof. Now, that is different than testimonials. So testimonials are like, your I bought this, it was amazing. Social proof can be you standing with the celebrity, or you standing with a certified doctor, physician, so physical trainer, whatever your product is. Social proof would be proof that the rest of the world loves this service or product.
Yep.
Number 4, testimonials. People saying, I purchased it and it was amazing. Now, the reason I separate those 2 is because sometimes people will have testimonials and don't realize that doesn't do the job of celebrity, or, everybody's using this. They're different. So I always separate those out, and I like to have both as often as I can. Number 5, elimination of distraction. We did a deep dive with, our master. We're always, upping our skills. We did a deep dive with our e-commerce mastermind that we pay a lot of money to be in. And one of the things they said is take your social media icons off, get them off. Why? Yep. Because people go to your Instagram, they go around and look, and then they get distracted with their work and they don't buy. Yep. So remove any distraction. You want one door, or, 2 or 3 clear doors. I prefer one that they're going to go through. Next, number 6, trusted product satisfaction. Now, I added that one on top, but you want people to I should have just put trust. I'm going to leave it at trust, right?
Yep.
They want a product or service from someone that they like and trust. So you can have social proof that it works, but the owner of the company could be, a scumbag and ripping people off. And,
Yep.
They want to trust the brand. They want to trust the people. They want to trust that the product's not going to break.
Yep.
And trust is very important. And then number 7, and this is kind of I don't know if you'd call it a hack or something, but one thing I've noticed recently is that everything we're learning in masterminds, everything that, and when I say learning, I hate to say that because we are experts and authorities in what we do, but we're always learning.
Yep, it's important.
It is important. And one thing I've noticed is that whenever we're learning, I'm going, they do this on Amazon too. Like go to any product page on Amazon and look at everything going on that page. Now, some people that have beautiful brands might say, well, it's ugly. Well, it converts, right?
It converts.
And there's a reason they do everything they do on Amazon, and they have spent billions of dollars testing everything on that site. And there's a reason literally we're going through these landing pages in e-commerce stores going, hey, move that line. Boom, it starts converting. Hey, make that button, don't make it an outline, don't make it a shadow, make it a bold button, make it bright red. It might be ugly for some brands, but it converts, right? Change what it says. Instead of button, make it say submit. Instead of a long, word on there. Look at what Amazon's doing. And I hesitate to say like too many other places because it doesn't always work. And this leads into the next part.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work to copy. Reverse engineering does not always work.
Yep.
And that will bring us to critical thinking. But before I go there, Jason, on those 7, anything you want to add?
No, I think those are all super important. If you can nail all those on your landing page, great. The only other thing I do want to add is, like you said it, I could care less how beautiful your site is. We want the damn thing to convert.
Yep.
And that's one of the biggest things we've learned in a few of our masterminds is being aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And, oh my gosh, this website is so pretty. Well, and then they're going to leave.
Dude, it's funny. The funny thing is you say that about you saying that is the story I just told about we moved the form up. Yeah. When I built that landing page, and when I was done, I was like, I kind of went with like beautiful in that case. I was like, this will look great. And it didn't convert. And the client was like, yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, great. But they don't care if it doesn't convert. They just do not care.
Right. So, yeah. Yeah. And don't be using those big, huge freaking headers, dude. You know, of you standing there or whatever you're going to use. Like, dude, it's going to look cool, but no one cares about staring at a photo of you or your product or whatever. Like, make it easy for them. Again, CTA, above the fold, social proof, testimonials. And a lot of people get mixed up, like you said, with social proof and testimonials, even trust. Because some people be like, oh, if I put all these testimonials there, people are going to trust me. Maybe.
Maybe.
But you need to break those things up. So this is great. Yeah. I'm really enjoying the 7 points you made are awesome. So
thanks, man. And this is all from our team and what we do every day, right? Like this is us working and, we build landing pages. Obviously we build landing pages that convert. Otherwise, people wouldn't stick with us. But now let's get to the second part, which is about the magic bullet. And there is no magic bullet. And that is something that is super important. Like we can say those 7 things and you can go do them and then they cannot convert. And the reason that this annoys me so much, and probably annoys me because I fell into it a lot, is the click funnels. Like if I build a funnel and I sell a course, I will be rich. We had a client the other day tell us, and this is a big tech company client, and they were like, yeah, we launched the company and we thought, we're just going to get rich overnight. And they're like, it just never works that way. It just never happens that way. Yeah. And this is a very successful, growing, thriving company. But they're like, yep, we just got to keep fighting and keep figuring. There is no magic bullet. There really isn't. And the solution to that is critical thinking. Critical thinking.
And it's funny. I just want to mention, if you think there's a magic bullet and you experience the magic bullet, it was luck.
And it won't happen again.
And it won't happen again. It'll eventually tank at a certain point.
Yep.
It could be a week. It could be 6 months. But yeah, that magic bullet doesn't exist. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So.
Well, and actually, we hadn't planned on talking about this, but the original founder of Victoria's Secret, there's a lot of entrepreneurs who have very early success. And, I don't want to say anything bad because anybody who knows the story, he eventually killed himself. He invested everything into his next company and then it didn't work.
Sucks.
Now, I don't want to talk about him because I don't know him personally, and that's a terrible tragedy, right? But I do see a lot of entrepreneurs like, I did it, it's me. And then in their next venture, they realize it wasn't them. It was the situation, everything happened. And then they tried to replicate by doing the same thing and it didn't work. Again, there's no magic bullet.
They tried to replicate the magic bullet that they thought was a magic bullet, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with landing pages, and we're focusing more on leads and landing pages tonight, it takes critical thinking. Who are you targeting? What are the things that make that person jump? What are the things that make them take their wallet out of their pocket, make a purchase, keep it, and be totally happy and write you a testimonial?
Mm-hmm.
What causes them to make decisions? What are their pain points? What are they looking for that when they see they're going to jump and go, that will help make my life better in some regard?
Yep.
But that takes thinking through, and it's different in every industry. Now let's give a couple of examples here. And this is a great example because, I have some students with leads, right? With leads, I do good. Jason kills it with leads and kills it with e-commerce. But one of my students had a law firm and then had a roofing company and could not get any leads for the roofing company, but was killing it on the other regard. So in my mind, I'm thinking, a roofing company is not the best play. Well, then me and Jason,
it's because it's expensive. It's like $10,000 to put a new roof on your house.
Totally. Well, I just thought it was out for ads, right? I just thought, well, Jason has experience there. He's thought through it critically. So we actually had this conversation within the last week where I'm like, I don't know. And Jason's like, look, this is what we're going to do. And what was the solution again? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Yeah. So it essentially was to, instead of selling the $10,000 roof, it was, hey, book your free consultation with a roof specialist. We'll come out to your house for free, inspect your roof. We'll be totally honest with you, and we'll let you know if you need a new roof. And 90% of the time, insurance covers your roof. Most people don't know that. So,
and they target during storms.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Or before a storm. Like, hey, a big snowstorm's coming. I should really get out there and inspect your roof because if you really need it, trust me, you're going to want it. And insurance will cover it.
Dude, it's crazy. I didn't even think about this when we talked about it earlier last week, but my sister, we had this windstorm out here. My sister's roof blew off like a week ago. A month ago or something. Yeah. So there's me. And the reason I thought that is because, Google does basically inbound searches, right? So people go, I need a roof. Where do they go? Google, right? But what I didn't think through is that there's conditions we can target around because Jason has more experience and he's thought through it critically. My, looking for like, what are easy leads, he's thought through it on a deeper level and knows if we target by region, we sell the lead as someone going out and giving them a free estimate. Plus it's usually covered by insurance. Hey, we're talking about things that homeowners jump for. There we go. But that took critical thinking. That took experience and critical thinking.
You're probably not going to have to think so critically on a $10 product, but on something that is $10,000. And it's not about like trying to fake the person or the person seeing the ad about the free, consultation. they need to, like we said, know, like, and trust you. If you come out in person and you say, hey, listen, yep, it's going to take me about 30 minutes to look at your roof. I'm going to need to get up on a ladder. I'm going to check out your roof or whatever it is, right? Car, whatever. Then you get to know the person. Hey, you know what? Guess what? I didn't find anything. Your roof's fine. Do you think that person's going to trust you? Absolutely.
Yep.
Because you're not selling them right there. This is a longer sales cycle. $10,000 is a lot of money. Someone's not just going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to spend 10 grand after seeing a Facebook ad.
Yep.
This is where the critical thinking comes in. Your landing page. This is important. Well, why aren't my ads working? How much is your offer? It's 10 grand. You're driving them straight to the $10,000 offer. Yeah. Obviously you haven't thought this through, have you?
Yeah. It sounds so crazy when you say it out loud now, but I just like thought about it and I was like, sell a roof and I just checked it off, like roof guide, like, all the strategies, but that's a great strategy. Honest company to give you an honest assessment of your roof at the time of a storm where it's needed. Great thinking through that whole process.
Yep.
Okay, now let's talk about profit. And this is one that me and Jason talk about a lot, is telling people no. And sometimes you got to tell people, no, I will not run ads for you. Sometimes it's very, very important. And I'll use a quick example, and then Jason, you'll probably have another one, or just, elaborate on it. But, we had a client come to us and say, hey, like, I'm getting leads and they're doing good. Like, but they don't offer the same medical services that another client or most of our clients do. Right. So I get on the call and I'm like, okay, let's run through your packages. I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, how much are your treatment plans? They're like, well, and I could tell they were doing the math on the spot. And I was like, uh-oh. And then the answer was about $250. And I said, campaign done. We're not doing this anymore, because I don't care if I send, I close for, we send you traffic for $50. It doesn't matter. But by the time you pay our agency fee and pay for your leads, you're not making any money. So, and I was pretty upfront about, me and the account manager were upfront about, the answer is no, we don't want to do that for you. So what we went into, and now I'll be careful with saying this, because this is, every client's different as far as like what they're comfortable with and what you tell them to do. And this is an isolated situation where we said, we won't do that for you as an agency. Now, sometimes we will and won't say that. It depends on the client again. But we said, no, we're not going to do it. In this case, talk to this doctor. They're doing injections with stem cell that are majorly helpful, and doing those for, $6-7 grand a pop. And all of a sudden, when we send you these $50 leads, we close you one, and you covered our fee and everything else, and you're happy. Now we're sending, between 3 and 7 of those a month, and they're stoked out of their minds, right? Yep. And that's based off their spend. I'm not trying to, say that you'll get that with certain numbers, but that's, in their case, that's what's going on. So sometimes when it comes to the offer and what you're offering, think through that before. And if there's not enough skin in the game, just say no. Just say, no, we won't do that. And I don't know why, but recently, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jason. This is another critical thinking one.
Yeah.
And I'll stop here in a second. But migraines and headaches. I don't know why, but recently people have been, anyone that knows our agency, we have medical's a smaller division, and then e-commerce and digital products are bigger divisions, meaning we have more clients. But we do have, lead clients in the medical field. And, we had people come to us with migraines and headaches, and we're like, okay, let's run it like any other condition, targeted well, everything, and then it's not converting. So what do we have to do? Step back, critical thinking.
Yep.
What's going on here? Well, are people really going to go to the chiropractor because they have a headache?
Yeah.
They're not.
Nope.
Very few people are going to go into a doctor because if they have migraines, they've already gone. They've gone to their primary doctor, So the conversation then, well, let me step back. The critical thinking was me and the account manager. And I can't remember if you helped us on this one, Jason, but sitting down and going, okay, let's run through the funnel and the offer and the ads and what's going on here. And there wasn't any, like, those 7 points. There wasn't one of those that we could look to and be like, it's this. It was,
right.
and there might be someone listening to this that thought through it and is killing it with headaches because they thought through it and figured out how to do it. But critical thinking through your process, put yourself in the customer's shoes. Think about the offer, think it through. And if something's not converting, go through the funnel yourself multiple times. Have other people go through it multiple times. Have them test it. Where did you get stuck? One time I had two people do it at the same time on a funnel that I had built. And then they both got stuck and they were like, I'm stuck. And they were like, where's the button? I'm like, the button's right there. And it looked like a banner because the words on the button were so long. All I did was change that to submit, change the whole process. So that was my spiel on critical thinking. Jason, what would you like to add?
Not much more. Just, I mean, I always say it, and I always say this is to clients especially, is put yourself in the customer's shoes and follow the same process that the customer is going to follow and see if you like it, see if you enjoy it, see if it's going to make you do the thing you want them to do, whether it's give you their phone number or their email address or buy something from your e-commerce store. Go through the process, because a lot of times you'll find things out and you'll be like, oh, shoot, I actually didn't do this one thing I really wanted to do. And if you didn't go through the actual process and test it and look at it, you would have never known. And that happens a lot. I
remember when you did that with remember the upsells without naming the client?
Oh, yeah.
Tell that one real quick.
Well, I mean, it's just like, you go in and I wanted to buy something to experience what the client. I always try to buy when we bring on a client or we're thinking about bringing on a client, especially if it's e-commerce. I try to go buy the product, and I want to buy it because I want to see what the customer experience is going to be like when they go from an ad to their site and buy. And I didn't know this, and we really, as a Facebook agency, you don't need to know this, but we kind of need to know this. And I figured this out after, but like I bought the product, and it was actually, I bought the product for my daughter, and then all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded with emails for upsells. I'm not talking, and I'm a marketer. Okay. So like, if you send me a couple emails to try and upsell me, dude, I'll probably take it. Maybe even, like I'll look at it. But I'm not even joking, like 2 or 3 emails a day for a solid 2 weeks. And that totally killed everything for me for the brand. And I went back to them and I was like, you guys, listen, like you can't do this, dude. You are going to kill customers. They're never going to give you a testimonial. They're not going to come back and purchase from you. They're not going to take your upsells. Even though they're the most 50% off. Dude, I don't care about 50% off if you're hitting me up twice a day for a month. That is crazy. So go through your process, make sure it's tested, make sure you enjoy your own process, right? That's huge. Yep. So, and that will make your landing page convert even better.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'll throw out here, we wanted to keep this a brief one. We wanted to throw out the 7 points and then really just talk about critical thinking. The last thing I'll say that we did that I recently, and this is within our mastermind. So, everybody may not have access to this exact strategy, but one thing we did with one of our clients is like, hey, we think the site could convert better. And we're in a mastermind where they do audits. So we submitted our site to do the audit. They came back with I think it was about 40 changes that I bullet pointed. Went through, made them all, made the difference, right? And the funny thing is I had been looking at other sites and seeing all of these changes, but until I had them go through it and I bullet pointed it out. Now, I don't want, I got to be careful here because we're an agency and I don't want, the site was built by the business owner. We didn't build the site.
We were trying to make it better.
Yeah, we were just trying to help them out. So we didn't go in, or we didn't have our team go in and build the site. We just submitted it because the product was doing amazing, but just because it was the product, right? But we felt like the conversion could increase, and we were right. They gave us 40 points. We made them, it upped conversion. So
Yep.
Give your site to someone, have them, do an audit or record you a video. If you have access to a high-level mastermind where people build landing pages, send it, be prepared for the feedback, but chances are the feedback's going to make it perform better if you're showing it to the right people.
Yep. And if you don't want to join a mastermind because you think it's too expensive, but those 5 or 10 or 15 tweaks that mastermind can tell you to do on your website can triple your business, it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Totally
and think of it that way. Like if you have to pay $3,000 a month for a mastermind, but you get access to submit your site for an audit, and that audit completely transforms your business, wouldn't that be worth it?
Yep.
It would.
And that's why we're always learning. Jason's always putting us in masterminds and programs. And, we do our training calls, like he mentioned in the last episode, where we get on and we problem solve, because that's what we do every day, is figure out what's wrong. How do we fix it and make it work better?
Yep. And it's important because the landing page game is an ever-changing ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the same. There's always going to be different things that work. And again, the only way you can see if it works is if you test it, give it some time, tweak a few things here and there, and tweak a little bit at a time. Don't tweak your entire website, and don't do it every other day. Like, you have to wait, see the data to come in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month before you go in and change something again.
That is a very, very, very important point, especially with e-commerce, because there's way more you can change on a Shopify site than on a landing page. But we almost know after working with someone for a month or two, based on how many changes they make, if they're going to be able to stabilize their account. Because if they're making critical changes every day, we can't see what's going on. We can't adjust and stabilize and find the winners, because it's like one of the things in our ecom mastermind was your free shipping threshold should be 10 to 15% above your average order value. We were kind of throwing things at the wall before they told us exactly what they recommend, the percentage. And so we went to a couple sites and said, hey, lower it $5, raise it $20. Do you know your average order? Some people didn't even know. Business owners, successful stores didn't even know it. And those are smaller ones, but so getting feedback from really high level people can definitely be another good route. Have them critical think, right?
Yep. Don't try to do it all on your own. It's not going to work.
Okay, cool. Well, I feel like we got that point across really well. There's 7 things that you can do, 7 kind of principles, and then also just, think it through, step back. One more thing I'll add is, when I'm stuck, I'll bring someone else in to critical think with me.
Yeah.
Because they'll see it from a different perspective. And it's funny because Jason, one thing I've noticed is that I'll bring something to you and then you'll be like, oh, do this. And I'll be like, yeah. One thing I'll be like, that's it. And I just had to bring it to someone else. So that's another strategy, is critical think yourself, but then bring people in who are also have a lot of experience, ask their opinion as much as you can, and, work on it together. So,
yeah. And we may I'm thinking about it right now. We may even take this episode and kind of have a download for the iOS. Maybe we can put something together, Eric, where people can download this just as a quick reference guide to make sure they're doing all these little steps for their landing pages. Again, we're a Facebook and an Instagram agency. We specialize in that, but we've run enough traffic. We have enough experience to know what works, what converts. And again, as a Facebook agency, we don't need to be in this e-commerce mastermind we're in, but we want to get better. We want to help our clients make their sites convert better. That's why we're in these places and we're doing this stuff. So we may, in the next week or two, we may put a little guide together to kind of help you look over some of this stuff that'll help your landing page convert. So
to go to our site, spotlightsocialadvertising.com.
And if you want to reach out to us and you want this guide ASAP, reach out to us. info@spotlightsocialllc.com, and we'll get it to you. So
awesome.
All
right, guys. Well, I think we're good. Yeah. You got anything else?
No, I think this has been great. This is an important topic for any marketer who's running ads. I mean, this is very important. And thanks a lot for all the info, Eric. You do a great job with pages and landing pages, and way better than me. So I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
I appreciate you too, man. All right, you guys have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye. Hey, thanks so much for listening to The Truth About Social Ads. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Please visit our website at truthaboutsocialads.com for show notes and additional episodes. And if you have time, please subscribe to the podcast and please consider rating and reviewing the show if you enjoyed it. That will help other people find us. By the way, I would love to hear from you. Please send me an email at jason@spotlightsocialllc.com with your feedback, questions, or a topic you'd like me to talk about on the show. If you send me a question, maybe I'll read it on the show. See you later. Bye.